This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Well, a story of Tucker Carlson, Buckley Carlson, and the myth of meritocracy. I'm Brittany Page. I am filling in for Jesse Dollemore as he continues his recovery from colon cancer surgery. I know you are all concerned about him and have been supporting him. He is doing well. He is recovering at home. He even returned to Twitter today with the good news that he is back on TikTok. His ban was lifted. So you can follow him on Twitter at Dollemore, on Instagram, and you can also see him on TikTok, although there's no new content yet, because again, he is recovering from colon cancer surgery. Expect to see him back soon. Now, Tucker Carlson is very upset, you guys. He's very, very upset that someone was mean to his adult son. Yes, said something mean to his adult son, and he's not going to stand for it. His son is the communications director for Representative Jim Banks. He's 24 years old, Buckley Carlson, 24 years old, and in just 2 years, he went from working in entry-level position with a salary of $40,000 a year to being communications director for a United States congressman, making a salary of $130,000 per year. Just 2 years, 24 years old. He's making almost as much as the congressman he works for. But do not say that it's because he's Tucker's son, you guys. Do not say that, or else you're going to be getting a phone call from Daddy Tucker. Now, according to reporting from Insider, Fox News host Tucker Carlson called top House Republican Rep Tom Emmer on Friday and demanded to know who in the GOP's ranks made an unflattering comment about his son, per Axios. At the core of Carlson's beef with Emmer, per Axios' Jonathan Swan, is an October 21st report from Daily Beast reporters in which an unnamed GOP strategist made a disparaging remark about Buckley Carlson, Carlson's son and the communications director for Rep. Jim Banks. Can you imagine this? You're an adult, and your daddy is having to call your bosses because an unflattering comment was made about you in the workplace. I mean, these are the same people who talk about like the coddling of America's youth and the participation trophy culture. They expect other people to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and take care of their own affairs, take care of their own problems. And then you have Buckley Carlson, who gets to play by a whole different set of rules. Tucker Carlson, whole different set of rules. I mean, there was a unflattering comment said about Buckley Carlson is the problem here. And you have Marjorie Taylor Greene tweeting that she stands with Buckley Carlson, as though questions surrounding his qualifications are some sort of attack on his person, that he's like a victim of a vicious attack because there's questions about how he went from a base salary and an entry-level job to making almost as much as the congressman that he works for in 2 years. But you can't say it's because he's Tucker Carlson's son, you guys. Do not say that. Make sure, like in the comments, do not say that. Absolutely. Let's continue this reporting from Insider. Per the Daily Beast's October 21st article, the unnamed Republican strategist said Banks hired Buckley Carlson in an effort to shore up his position to clinch the position of House Republican whip over Emmer, the chair of the National Republican Congressional Committee, or NRCC. Deep down, he dies to be liked by the establishment. He hires Tucker Carlson's son, a 24-year-old kid, to be his communications director, the strategist told the Daily Beast of Banks. You know what's interesting about this phrasing is who gets to be viewed as a kid. They're calling a 24-year-old man, Buckley Carlson, Tucker Carlson's son, a kid. And they don't use that language when 17-year-old Trayvon Martin is gunned down or 12-year-old Tamir Rice is gunned down. You don't see Black kids who are victims of racist violence being called kids, but you get to see Buckley Carlson, Tucker Carlson's son, being called a kid. You know, Judd Lugham does a lot of great reporting. If you don't follow him on Twitter, I would definitely recommend him. He went deep on this, and I want to read directly from his Twitter thread. Buckley Carlson was initially hired by Rep. Jim Banks immediately after graduating from college as a staff assistant, essentially an entry-level job, earning $40,000 per year. His only prior experience was as an intern for Trump in the White House. After 1 year on the job, Buckley Carlson was given a $25,000 raise and was now earning $65,000 as a staff assistant. Judd says, great work. 6 months later, in January 2021, Buckley was promoted to communications director, the highest ranking communications job in a congressional office. His salary was increased again to $75,000. 10 months after that, Buckley got another huge raise to about $130,000 per year. Buckley went from a $40,000 entry-level job being the communications director to earning $130,000 in a bit over 2 years. And let's not forget, this isn't the only time that Buckley Carlson has had strings pulled for him because of his daddy, Tucker. Remember when Tucker sent the email to Hunter Biden trying to get Buckley into Georgetown? Reading from reporting from the Washington Post. Tucker Carlson and his wife were looking to get their son a leg up in his college application to Georgetown University when they turned to a well-connected Washington friend who had an even better connected father. I realize you don't really know Buckley, Susie Carlson wrote via email in 2014 to Hunter Biden, a Georgetown graduate and the son of then vice president. Maybe you could meet or speak to him and he could send you a very brief resume with his interests and grades attached. Tucker Carlson offered that his son was a good squash player and an excellent fly fisherman. He loves Washington's for all the right reasons, I think, Carlson added, and really wants to go to school here. When Biden agreed to write a letter of recommendation, Susie Carlson added a heap of praise. Tucker and I have the greatest respect and admiration for you always. So where does the myth of meritocracy come in? Well, meritocracy, this idea that regardless of the social status that you're born into in this country, through your own achievements, your own hard work, you can work your way up the social status ladder. Tucker Carlson is proving that not to be true, even though every night on his show, he's advocating for that. He's telling you that if you are born into poverty, if you are born into a low income socioeconomic status, that through your own hard work and by picking yourself up by your bootstraps, that you can become a millionaire. It's the American dream. But in Tucker Carlson's world, he gets to be connected to the Swanson heir, the Swanson money. And then he gets to then pull the strings for his son, where strings were pulled for him. So it's just a cycle of people in his family having access to resources, access to wealth, and then continuing to build on that by using their connections and their resources to continue to get more wealthy, more connected. So Tucker Carlson is pulling the strings for Buckley every chance that he gets, while telling you that you can get by without any help from other people. Yeah, that's what Tucker Carlson wants to sell you. But Buckley Carlson can't even get into Georgetown on his own. He can't get a job on his own. He can't perform at his job on his own without Daddy Tucker coming to the rescue. Yes. It reminds me of that famous Martin Luther King Jr. quote, "This country has socialism for the rich, rugged individualism for the poor." Or rugged individualism for the not well-connected. You know, the way that people achieve social upward mobility in this country is through good public policy, is through having access to money, having access to connections, luck. Luck is the biggest part of that. And Tucker Carlson is proving that point to be true because he has the last name Carlson. He has access to the Swanson money. We don't know how much, but he has access to it. And Buckley Carlson is now benefiting from that too. And so with this lie of you can be born into a terrible situation and climb your way out of it, that's what Tucker wants to tell you, but that's not what he's doing for his son. In his own family, that's not what he's doing. This also reminds me of an episode of the I Doubt It podcast that Jesse and I did where we had an economics professor, Robert H. Frank, on the show. It was episode, I think 69. It was way back in the day, but he wrote a book called Success and Luck, The Myth of Meritocracy. That is a great episode. If you want to do a deeper dive on this, I would recommend that. But I would also love to know what you think about all of this. The phone number is 714-576-4054. And as always, you can send us an email to daily@dollemore.com. We would greatly appreciate your support of the work that we do here on this channel. For as little as $2 a month, you can become a channel member, and that goes a long way to support what we do here on this channel. You can also go to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast and support our work there. As Jesse would say, be genuine and take care of one another.